أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم وفقنا وسائر المشتغلين للعلم والعمل الصالح بحق محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن عدوهم. Imam Ali alayhi salam said, moving mountains is easier than bringing hostile hearts together. قال الإمام علي سلام الله عليه: إزالة الرواسي يعني الجبال أسهل من تأليف القلوب المتنافرة. إزالة الرواسي أسهل من تأليف القلوب المتنافرة. With Islamic laws, we reach to issue number 410. If a woman does not know what kind of istihada she has, this woman, she doesn't know what kind of istihada she has. So what she has to do, please pay attention to me, because these issues are of a daily problems issue. It is very necessary to understand it and to read it and to memorize it and to act according to it. So if a woman does not know what kind of istihada she has, she should. Now what she has to do is very important. Not here we need it in another thing. So but you have to listen to it. She should insert into herself some cotton. She should insert to her private part some cotton and wait a while to ascertain. A while between 10 to 15 minutes. You know how much this time. But I asked, they told me about 10 to 15 minutes, okay, to ascertain, in order to know what kind of istihada you are in. Because it is very necessary to know what kind of istihada, because each kind of istihada, it has what? It has its own what? Its own way of purification. Not all of them, they have the same way of purification. Some of them needs only what? Only wudu, just like qalil istihada. Some of them needs one ghusl per day and one wudu each salah, like mutawassita. One of them needs each salah a ghusl. Also there is a detail with the excessive istihada. Alright, and when she knows which kind of istihada it is, okay, in Minhaj al-Salihin, Sayyid Sistani, and before him Sayyid Abul Qasim al-Khou'i, later Abul Qasim al-Khou'i rahmatullah alayh, he said she insert a cotton in her private parts and she stand next to the wall just like a dog. Just like a dog. When a dog pissed, the woman should stay like this in order to check her state, in which kind of istihada she is. So she should follow the rules prescribed. And when she knows which kind of istihada it is, she would follow the rules prescribed. This is the point. Why should I check? Why should I put some cotton? In order to know which kind of istihada and to follow what? And to follow the rules that I have to follow. And if she is sure that the type of istihada will not change by the time, sometimes she feels that her state is changed, it is developed from little استحاضة to متوسط استحاضة, from متوسط استحاضة to excessive استحاضة to كثير استحاضة, or it becomes from excessive استحاضة to medium استحاضة, or from excessive استحاضة to little استحاضة, or from medium استحاضة to little استحاضة. For this, she has to check herself. And if she is sure that the type of istihada will not change by the time she stands for her prayer, she may carry out the test before the time for a prayer sets in. That means she has to check herself. She has to check herself, not to rely on the previous case. You know, my daughters, I know it is very difficult for the women to do such acts, but this is the way how to know in which state you are. This is the only way to know which way of purification you are going to choose, because there is an issue, it will come inshallah. If you are not act accordingly, your act is void. It's a big problem. Really, it is a big problem. I came and I did my purification, I prayed, and then it becomes void. So at Doomsday, when I came to my salah, when they came to check my salah, they told me, you didn't pray at that day or at those days. Why? Because you didn't follow the rules. Really, it is what? It is a big problem. So we have to be accurate and we have to check it. And I don't think it is difficult. It is not difficult, my daughters. Since that I take care about my salah, since I take care about my purification, I have to check these things. Anyhow, if you do not have a question, yes. We go to issue number 411. I think this issue I changed it in my book. I think you do not have ruling number 403 in your copies. You have ruling 403? Good, great. So, if a mustahada starts purification or performing a prayer without examining herself. Now, listen to this. If a mustahada starts performing a prayer without examining herself, the way that we just have taken in the foregoing issue, in the event that she had the intention of attaining proximity to Allah and acted in accordance with her duty, for example, her istihada is what? Was slight, little, qalila. And she acted in accordance with the rules of someone who has slight istihada. Then, in such case, her prayer is valid. We don't have any comment. Her act or her prayers is what is valid. How about if her istihada was medium or excessive? Let's see. However, if she did not have the intention of attaining proximity to Allah, إذا ما كانت نية القرب, the intention of seeking nearness to Allah, or her action were not in accordance, for example, that she was acting according to whom? According to the excessive istihada. accordance with her duty. For example, if her istihada was medium, but she acted in accordance with the rules of someone who has slight istihada, then her prayers are void. Her prayers are void. And this lady, she is acting according to the rules, and she is coming to pray, to perform her prayers. But the problem what? The problem that she is not acting accordingly. She is not doing the exact way of purification to this state. She acts according to what? To different state. So we have 2 points. Pay attention to me, please. Pay attention to me. We have 2 things. First of all, if she is not seeking her intention, if it is not seeking the nearness to Allah, her prayer is void. The other thing, if she acts according to different level, to different type of istihada, also her prayers are what? Are void. Yeah, it is not easy. Really, it is not easy. Issue number 412. If you have a question, ask, my daughters. These are not an easy issues to be left without a discussion. Yes, my daughter.
So what if the woman doesn't know the right hukum?
Okay. Here the question is, what about the woman who doesn't know about this hukum? The blaming of Allah will come. Ala ta'allamti, why you didn't study? Why you didn't ask? And nowadays, it is not difficult to ask. Not difficult to ask. Nowadays, it is very easy to have the phone and to go over everything. Why didn't ask about this thing? So you are not excused, my daughter. You are not excused. Pay attention to this. Yes.
There are.
Wait. Yes.
I was saying there are young women. They don't know the right hukum, and even they can't ask anyone, so they ask their
their mothers.
Yeah, their mothers. So.
As I told you, my daughter, her mother is not a specialist. Her mother is not well educated. Just like nowadays, they came and asked me, "Oh, Sheikh Ameer, we at the end of Hayd, we just wash and we are starting what? Our prayers. While still we are seeing what? A brown blood, not red blood. So it is not Hayd. How it comes? This is Hayd. This is Hayd, and you are still in the menses situation. So you have to check. Or somebody else, they said, yes, since there is no blood comes out of the private part, but the blood is still where? In the private parts. Still you are in the menses state. So they have to ask. They have to ask. Let me ask you, if she is sick, not sick, if she is hungry, is she going to seek the food, to search about food or not? Same thing, she has to ask. Yes, who has?
Is her wudu and salah is void?
Yes, void.
If she was ignorant.
She has to repeat the salah during this time. Yes, she has to repeat salah. Yes.
We should have, because previously we study issue, it is obligatory to learn the Hakum daily.
Yes. Very good. At the beginning of Islamic laws, we studied it is obligatory for a Muslim to study and understand the problems of a daily problem, as I explained just before. So it is not easy to leave it and to act by yourself and to act or to ask your mother, and then you fell in making mistakes and your prayers are void. This is not good. Anyhow, if a mustahada cannot examine herself, why? Maybe she's blind. Maybe she is in a travel, or for any other reasons, she cannot examine herself. She must, according to what is undoubtedly her responsibility. This lady, for a reason she cannot examine, definitely, but this reason should be reasonable, accepted, not because she is lazy, not because she said, I cannot do that, I'm scared maybe the cotton goes inside my private part, I cannot get it out. No, this is not an excuse. This is not an excuse. This is your obligatory duty. You have to do it. If you are taking care about what? About your worship acts, just like salah. For example, if she does not know whether her istihada is slight or medium, she must do the things required for a woman with slight istihada. And if she does not know whether she has medium or excessive istihada, she must do the things required of women with medium istihada. All right. However, if she knows which one of the three types, if she knows that she is in excessive istihada, or that she is in medium istihada, or in slight istihada, if she knows which one of three types it was previously, she knows that, for example, in excessive istihada, and now she cannot examine herself, and she said, what shall I do here? She must act in accordance with the duties for that type. That means which type she was with excessive istihada, she has to act according to the excessive istihada. If she cannot examine herself. So in the two examples, there is an illustration under number 1. In these two examples, the mustahada knows for sure that her istihada is at least the lesser type, if it is between the little istihada and medium istihada. Between the medium istihada and what? The excessive istihada. She knows at least that her istihada was what? The little one, the lesser one. Because she knows before that her istihada was little, and now she doubts. Maybe it becomes medium, okay, but she cannot examine herself. So what she has to do? She has to act according to the last one, because what she is sure of is the last istihada. Have you got this, my daughter? Great. So, in these two examples, the mustahada knows for sure, look, for sure that her istihada is at least the lesser type. It could possibly be more than this, but as that is only a possibility, she must act according to what she knows is certain. If she is certain about that the lesser type, she has to act according to this. But if she is not certain, but she knows that her state, previous state, was medium istihada, and now she said maybe it changed to excessive istihada, and she cannot examine herself. She has to act according to what? To the medium istihada. Issue number 413. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعنات. If when the blood of istihada is first discharged, remains inside, as we explained before, it is not only the blood of istihada or hayd is going outside the private parts. Sometimes it is still where inside the private parts. So, if the blood of istihada is first discharged, it remains inside and does not come out. This does not invalidate women's wudu. Pay attention. This is the blood of istihada, not hayd. And the blood of istihada, if it is still inside her private parts and it does not comes outside of her private parts, and she was on purification stage, she performs her ablution. So this ablution, this wudu, is not invalidated by this blood which is still where? Inside her private parts. You got this? Great. So does not invalidate a woman's wudu or ghusl, but if it comes out, that means she has ghusl, for example, or she has ablution and the blood of istihada comes out. Now, is this ghusl or this, wajib ghusl, obligatory ghusl, or this wudu is invalidated or not when the blood comes out of the private part? However little it may be, then this invalidates her wudu and ghusl. That means whatever this blood, even a small drop of istihada blood comes out of the private parts, it invalidates what? It invalidates wudu. So what she has to do, she has to check what kind of istihada she is in and to have to act according to her state of purification. Any question? Any question, my daughters? No question? Good. Issue number 414. If a mustahada examines herself, she checked herself, the way that we mentioned before. I'm going to repeat it. To put some cotton in her private parts and to see if the blood just stained the cotton. This is what? This is little istihada. If the blood immerses inside the cotton but it does not goes out, it is what? Medium istihada. If the blood is what? Is yes, if the blood is goes inside the whole cotton and it goes out, so it is what? It is excessive istihada. So if a mustahada examines herself after prayer and does not see any blood, then even if she knows that bleeding will start again, she can perform a prayer with wudu she already has. Yes. You have a question? No question? Good. Shall I repeat this issue? Anybody want me to repeat this issue? Okay. If a mustahada, she did her obligatory duty. What is her obligatory duty? By examining herself, the way that we mentioned. All right. And after prayer and does not see any blood, does not see any blood, then even if she knows that bleeding will start again, she knows her case because it is something that you used to, okay? She knows that the blood will come, but she examined herself after the prayer. Now, the wudu that she has, is it still valid or not? It's still valid. It's still valid. Why? Yes, she knows that the bleeding will be coming in a few minutes or in a few hours, but since she examines herself after the prayer, she can pray with this wudu and she does not need to renew her wudu. Why? Because she examined herself and she doesn't find what? She doesn't find any blood. Have you got the idea? Yes.
I pray Dhuhr prayer. After that, I examine myself.
Yes.
I see.
There is no blood. So now we are talking about the validity of your ablution, of your wudu, which you just perform your salah with. It is still valid or it is void. Since I examine myself and there is no blood, but I know the blood will come. I know the blood or the bleeding will come. Okay, but now I examine, there is no blood. So can I perform another salah with this wudu? Yes, this wudu is still valid.
Because this is before the existence. Because this wudu is before the existence of Sahaba.
This wudu, I did it before my salah. I know my situation and I did it. After my salah, I examined myself. Now, when I examined myself, I found there is no bleeding, there is no blood. So, here is a question. Can I perform another salah with this wudu or this wudu is void? Yes, I can, because there is no blood. No, in all cases. In all cases. Because even with little istihada, we mentioned that we need to do what? To perform a wudu for each salah. Yes, we have 2 minutes, inshallah. Yes. So, issue number 415. If a mustahada knows that from the time she started performing wudu or ghusl, no blood has come out, nor is it in the vagina, there is no blood, she can delay performing a prayer until the time she knows she will not experience istihada. So this lady knows that from the time she started performing wudu or ghusl, no blood has come out and no blood in her private parts. Now, she can delay her salat or she has to perform? Yes, she can delay her salat. Yes, she can delay her salat, since that she knows she will not experience istihada. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.